Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into something pretty amazing, how the most complex and powerful computer we know of, the human brain, is literally providing the blueprint for the next wave of artificial intelligence. So let me kick things off with a question for you. What do you think is the single most powerful and, most efficient information processing system on the entire planet? Yep, you probably got it. It's the one you're using to even think about this question, the brain, sitting right inside your head. It's the absolute pinnacle of biological complexity, and for AI researchers, it's become the ultimate source of inspiration. So let's jump right in and explore exactly how AI is learning from this incredible biological blueprint. Okay, so this whole field has a name, brain-inspired AI, or BII for short. The core idea is actually pretty simple, but it's also totally profound. Instead of just building algorithms that are really good at one specific thing, researchers are trying to copy the brain's actual processes to create intelligence that's more adaptive, more efficient, and, well, more human-like. Now, what's the big difference here? Think of it like this. Traditional AI is often like a super-powered calculator. It follows a strict set of pre-programmed rules. It's powerful, for sure, but it's also rigid. Brain-inspired AI, on the other hand, is trying to learn the way we do. It's designed to be flexible, to learn from experience, and to handle all the messy, unstructured data of the real world. Just like us. So how in the world do you actually do this? Well, researchers are basically taking two main approaches. The first one is to try and copy the brain's physical structure, its hardware, if you will. Just think about how you're seeing things right now. Your brain's visual cortex isn't just taking one big snapshot. Nope. It has layers of neurons that break everything down, processing information in a hierarchy. It starts with simple features and then builds them up into more complex ideas. And this is a fantastic illustration of how a super famous AI model, the convolutional neural network, or CNN, does basically the exact same thing. First, it looks for the simple stuff in an image, like edges and curves. Then it starts piecing those together into more complicated shapes. And finally, bam! It combines those shapes to recognize whole objects, whether it's a face or a car. This isn't just theory. This is the tech that powers your phone's face unlock and helps self-driving cars see pedestrians. And this whole copy the hardware idea goes way beyond just vision. You've got things called recurrent neural networks, which are designed to mimic how our brain handles sequences and memory. That's what makes them so good at understanding language. And then there are spiking neural networks, which are even wilder. They try to copy the super efficient way our neurons communicate with little electrical spikes. The hope there is to create AI that uses way, way less power. Okay, so that's the hardware. But what if we flip the script? What if we focus less on the physical stuff and more on the software? The way we humans actually learn and behave. This approach is where some of the most exciting stuff is happening. You've got imitation learning, where an AI literally just watches an expert and copies what they do. There's reinforcement learning, which is all about trial and error, kind of like a baby learning to walk. Then there's transfer learning. That's like when knowing how to ride a bicycle makes it easier to learn how to ride a motorcycle. And my favorite, few-shot learning, which copies our amazing human ability to see something just once or twice and totally get it. And the really crucial thing to understand here is that this isn't just about computer code. It's deeply tied to psychology. Reinforcement learning is basically a digital version of operant conditioning. The AI tries something, and if it's a good move, it gets a little virtual reward, so it learns to do more of that. And this is the exact technique that allowed Google's AlphaFold to solve the 50-year-old grand challenge of protein folding, a breakthrough with massive implications for medicine. All right, so theory is great, but where's this technology actually being used? Let's take a look at some real-world applications that are already out there. Robotics is a perfect example. A traditional factory robot is programmed to do one task perfectly over and over again, but it can't adapt. A brain-inspired robot, it's a whole different ballgame. It learns from its experiences, it's highly adaptable, and can make cognitive, human-like decisions. That means it can work in complex, messy environments where older robots would just completely freeze up. And the impact in healthcare is just staggering. AI systems, especially those CNNs we talked about, can analyze thousands of medical scans, MRIs, X-rays, you name it, and spot patterns that might be invisible to the human eye. And studies show that when radiologists use these tools, their diagnostic accuracy goes way up. That means earlier detection and better outcomes for patients. So the potential here is obviously enormous, but we've got to be realistic. Copying the brain is no simple task, and there are still some major hurdles on the road ahead. First off, there's just the sheer scale of it all. The human brain has around 86 billion neurons. Just trying to simulate that is a monumental computing challenge. These models also need absolutely massive amounts of data to learn from. Then, of course, you've got the huge ethical concerns, like data privacy and making sure these algorithms aren't biased. And finally, just getting neuroscientists, psychologists, and computer scientists to all speak the same language, well, that's a massive challenge in itself. And that brings us to our final thought. The goal of brain-inspired AI is, of course, to build smarter machines. But in the process of trying to copy our own intelligence, we're being forced to understand it more deeply than ever before. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. If we finally do it, if we succeed in building an artificial brain, what will it ultimately teach us about our own?